Okay. Good day, students. We are here once again. I want to take you again on physics, and our topic of today is still equilibrium of forces, a continuation of our previous class. Now, specific objective. At the end of the lesson, I should be able to state the conditions for equilibrium of parallel coplanar forces. Then also apply the given conditions in solving questions in equilibrium. Okay, you remember in our last class we stated the principle of moment, and I also gave you this condition, but I still want to state it. Now, the condition for the equilibrium of parallel coplanar forces. Now, number one, it states that algebraic sum of all the parallel forces acting in any direction is 0. The algebraic sum of all the parallel forces acting in any direction is 0. Here, we give the positive sign to the vertical forces acting upward and negative sign to vertical forces acting downward. Simply, this condition can also be stated as the total upward forces is equal to the total downward forces. Okay, number two, the algebraic sum of all the moments of forces, all the forces about any point is 0. The algebraic sum of all the moments of forces about any point is 0. Here, we can give the positive sign to the clockwise moment and negative sign to the anti-clockwise moment, or vice versa. This condition can also be stated as the total clockwise moment is equal to the total anti-clockwise moment. So these are the two conditions necessary for the equilibrium of parallel coplanar forces. Remember, I told you that forces are said to be coplanar if they are acting on the same plane. You know, they are also parallel when they cannot meet. So you see the parallel coplanar forces, they are forces that cannot meet, but they are acting on the same plane. They are called parallel coplanar forces. Example is shown in this question 1. The example says a uniform beam of length 6 meters balances at its center of gravity when weight of 320 Newton and 540 Newton are placed at one end and 1 meter from the balance point on the same side. Now, calculate the weight of that calculate the weight, the value of the weight that will place at the other end to balance the beam horizontal. Okay, now before we start, you recall what we say is the center of gravity. We say the center of gravity is the point where the resultant weight of an object is concentrated. I also remember I told you that any uniform rod or beam, the center of gravity is at its midpoint. So here we say a uniform beam. So the center of gravity is at the center. Okay, look at the circuit diagram. If you look at the diagram, the beam is represented by AB, while O is the center of gravity, which is the center where the pivot is placed. You see that the weight of 320 Newton is placed at the end A. Another weight, 540 Newton, is placed 1 meter from O on the left hand side. Then we have another weight W placed at B on the right hand side. So you see, we need to use the condition. So we apply the principle of moment here. We see that the beam is in equilibrium. Okay? Now, we take the moment of force about the pivot O. Therefore, we now state that the clockwise moment equals the anti-clockwise moment. So the clockwise moment, we have, you remember that we say the moment is the product of force and the perpendicular distance. So the force there, the first force we have 320 Newton and the perpendicular distance is 3 meter. So therefore we have 320 multiplied by 3 plus the second one is 540 and the perpendicular distance is 1 meter. So we have 540 multiplied by 1. Then on the right hand side, we have the force is W and its perpendicular distance is 3. Therefore, we have W multiplied by 3. So therefore, we have 960 plus 540 is equal to 3W. Therefore, 3W is equal to 1500 Newton. So that means the W is equal to 1500 Newton meter divided by 3 meter, and that gives us that W is equal to 500 Newton. So if you place a 500 Newton weight at that end, it will balance the beam horizontally. Okay, now we look at another example number 2. In this case, we say a uniform rod 8 meter long, weighing 50 kg, is supported horizontally by 2 vertical parallel strings P and Q at distances 2 meter and 6 meters from one end. Then weights of 100 Newton, 160 Newton and 200 Newtons are attached at distances of 1 meter, 5 meter and 7 meter respectively from the same end. Now, the question says, find the tension in each string. Okay, here we are talking about the parallel coplanar forces. Now look at the circuit diagram. In the circuit diagram, you see that the 2 strings P and Q are attached. You see that the P is attached at 2 meter from the one end, and Q also attached at 2 meter from the other end, but is 6 meter from the same end as P. So you watch that 100 Newton is attached at 1 meter from the end, from the left hand end. Now 500 Newton is at the center of gravity. Why? Because that is the weight of the beam. We said that the beam weighs 50 kg. So we change the mass to weight. You know, weight is equal to mass times gravity. So 50 times 10 gives us 500 Newton. Is acting at the center. That is 4 meter from both ends. Because we say it's a uniform beam. So the weight must be at the center. Now, if you check, you see that 160 Newton is now acting at a distance of 5 meters from the left end, and 200 Newton is acting at a distance of 7 meters from the left hand end. So you see the distances of each of the forces from both ends. Now, in this case, you see that we have a system of parallel forces. We have 6 forces acting on the beam. Out of the 6, 4 are vertically downward and 2 are vertically upward. And you remember the condition for the equilibrium of parallel coplanar forces. We said that the total upward forces must be equal to the total downward forces. Okay, we look at it. So we say we consider the condition for the equilibrium of parallel coplanar forces. The total upward forces equals the total downward forces. So that means P plus Q must be equal to 100 plus 500 plus 160 plus 200, giving us 960 Newton. So we call that equation 1. Now here, we take the moment of force about P. It's not a must that is always about P. You can decide to take the moment of the force about Q. So don't say that I said that every time it is always about P. So you can decide to take the moment about any of the 2 points of support. You know the beam is supported at 2 points, P and Q. So you can take the moment about P or moment about Q. But here we take the moment about P. But you must know that if you take the moment about P, P becomes redundant. If you are taking the moment about Q, Q becomes redundant. So now, we consider the diagram again. If you take the moment about P, you will now see that both the force Q and 100 Newton, they are now considered as anti-clockwise moment. While the other 3 forces, 500, 160, and 200, will constitute the what? Clockwise moment. Okay, so we now say 100 multiplied by 1 is the distance of the 100 Newton from the pivot, which is P, plus Q multiplied by 4 is the distance from the force Q to the pivot P. Okay, now is equal to the clockwise moment, which is 500 multiplied by 2. 2 is its distance from the pivot P. Now, plus 160 multiplied by 3 is distance from the pivot, plus 200 multiplied by 5 is distance from the pivot. Okay, now we call it equation 2. So when we evaluate it, we have 100 plus 4Q is equal to 1000 plus 480 plus 1000. So if we collect like terms here, we have 4Q is equal to 2380 Newton meter. Therefore, Q will be equal to 2380 divided by 4. That means Q is equal to 595 Newton. Now, remember, equation 1 told us that P plus Q is 960 Newton. So we substitute the value of Q in equation 1. So we have that P plus 595 is equal to 960. That means P is equal to 960 minus 595, giving us 365 Newton. So, and that gives us the value for P. So the tension in P is 365 Newton, while tension in Q is 595 Newton. So in summary, we say that for a parallel coplanar forces to be in equilibrium, the algebraic sum of all the parallel forces acting in any direction must be 0. That means the total upward forces must be equal to the total downward forces. Also, algebraic sum of all the moments of forces about any point must be 0. That means the total clockwise moment must be equal to the total anti-clockwise moment. Now we also say that the center of gravity of any uniform beam or uniform rod is the center of such rod. Okay, assignment. Now you look at the question. A meter rule is found to balance at 49 cm mark Now, when a body of mass 60 gram is suspended at 6 cm mark, the balance point is found to be at 30 cm mark. Now, calculate the question A, the mass of the meter rule. Question B, the distance of the balance point from the zero end if the body were moved to the 15 cm mark. Number C, the reading of a spring balance used to suspend the meter rule at this point of balance. So, you submit this assignment in the Google Classroom. So, any question will be discussed by tomorrow in our Google Classroom and also in the Zoom class. Thank you very much for listening and stay safe.